Welcome to the White Rabbit YouTube channel. In today's episode, you will learn of a not yet extinct dinosaur in the Congo, as well as other sea, loch, and lake monsters from around the known world. Starting with everyone's favorite, the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland. Here I have a bit of a close-up of the United Kingdom. Here is Doggerland, High Brazil, and the Loch Ness Monster. Very nearby, we have the Irish sea monster that disabled a German U-boat in 1918 and was recently recorded at Lake Foyle in Northern Ireland.
Look over there, boy. What is it?
What is that? See it? Is that a head?
Look at the size of it. It's massive.
There's the monster of Lake Van in Turkey. There's the Ogopogo in Canada. The Nahuelito in Argentina. The Lake Vostok alien octopus in Antarctica, the Isonade in Japan, and the Lake Baikal monster in Russia. The most well known in the conspiracy community, after Nessie of course, would have to be Mokele-mbebe, a living dinosaur, the one that stops the flow of rivers. All ancient civilizations had their own portrayal of sea serpent monsters. Ancient Mesopotamia had Tiamat, the Jewish tribes had the mighty Leviathan, the Nordic had Jormungandr, and the Greeks had Hydra, the multi-headed monster. I have an amazing clip of this one. Check it out. The Megalodon, or Meg, is still alive. There's proof. Just wait and see. According to NOAA.gov, 80% of the world's oceans have yet to be mapped. Personally, I think this is just a cover-up. They know, they just don't want us to know. The oceans are a perfect hiding place for USOs, unidentified submarine objects, i.e. underwater UFOs or UAPs, portals, and alien life. Just like the giant squid that was thought to be a myth until it was discovered and photographed in 2004. Many more monsters await discovery. Now sit back, relax, and join me as we uncover the truth about these aquatic beings. Reports of a monster inhabiting Loch Ness go back to ancient times. Stone carvings by the Pict show a large beast with flippers. The first written account was in the 7th century. In 1933, the legend began to grow as witnesses described their sighting as resembling a dragon or prehistoric creature, and in 1934, the iconic picture that everyone has grown to know and love was taken and shared with the world. Now I'm going to show you the best Nessie footage that has ever been seen. It was taken in 2018 by a woman called Chi Kelly, but she feared public ridicule and so she kept quiet about it. But she was encouraged by the recent search, the largest search for Nessie in 50 years, and then she released what she found. And that's what we're going to see right now. Also worth mentioning is during that largest search for Nessie in 50 years, they had sonar equipment in the lake and detected strange sounds that must have been Nessie, but of course they forgot to turn on the recording equipment. The Irish sea monster, the Oily Fist, attacked a German submarine, UB-85, that had been patrolling the Irish Sea looking to unleash its 10 torpedoes on merchant ships bringing supplies to Britain from the US and Brazil. Captain Gunther Kretsch saw a huge sea monster emerge from the sea and climb onto the side of the surfaced submarine. Every man began firing their sidearm at the monster until it let go and slipped back into the sea. But it became apparent that the monster had damaged the submarine to the point where they could no longer dive underwater. They surrendered to the Coreopsis of the Royal Navy the next day. The earliest known depiction of the Van Lake monster is on Akdamar Island, the largest island in Lake Van. There is an Armenian church built in 1915. The outside of the church is covered in carvings. One of the carvings has a clear depiction of a ship with a monster beneath it, and also more recent sightings in 1889 and repeatedly between 1995 and 1997. The Ogopogo lake monster inhabits Okanagan Lake in British Columbia, Canada. Susan Allison's sighting in 1872 was the first by a non-Aboriginal. Repeated sightings between 1968 and 2018. Nahuelito, described as a giant serpent or plesiosaur, comparable in size and appearance to the Loch Ness Monster. First seen over 100 years ago in Patagonia, the land of the giants in Argentina. Like Nessie, it is named after the lake it resides in. Did you know that octopuses are actually aliens from outer space? They arrived on our planet by falling from space in a kind of frozen stasis, which brings me to my favorite octopus story, Specimen 46b. Lake Vostok is a subglacial lake under 2 miles of ice next to the Russian scientific research base in Antarctica. After drilling down the 2 kilometers, Russian divers were sent down to collect specimens. A highly intelligent 14-legged tentacled octopus was found. The octopus had the ability to cloak itself and paralyze its prey with a kind of toxin. Only 5 of the 8 divers survived capturing it. They plugged the hole and went to Moscow. Russian officials seized the beast and told the international press that nothing was found, so that they may conduct their research in secrecy. The Japanese Isonade is a shark-like monster that only appears when the north wind blows violently southwards. It uses its tail to drag sailors underwater to be devoured. Sometimes venturing near the coast, it uses its tail to swipe the beach to catch its prey. That's how it got its name, the beach stroker. And now a different kind of sea monster, the swimmers of Lake Baikal. In July of 2009, declassified by the Russian government, documents detailing USO encounters with the Russian Navy. Of particular interest is the story of the 1982 training exercise in Siberia in Lake Baikal. The beings were wearing tight-fitting silver suits and strange scuba gear helmets that resembled see-through umbrellas. The Russian Navy divers were training at 50 meters or 164 feet below the surface of the lake. The Navy trainees felt a presence among them. They turned to find beings 2.7 meters or 9 feet tall watching them. Alarmed, the Navy trainees slowly returned to the surface to avoid suffering from the bends and reported the situation to the higher-ups. Expert Navy divers, the frogmen, were sent down to capture one of the beings. But when they tried to throw a net over one of the beings, they reacted defensively by clicking on a silver kind of remote that created a maelstrom and sent all the divers back to the surface very quickly. Of the 7, 3 died, the other 4 were violently injured. Lake Baikal is a well-known UFO hotspot with hundreds of UFO sightings and mysterious occurrences. Many people believe that there is an ancient civilization living at the bottom of the lake, at the bottom of the deepest freshwater lake in the world at 5,400 feet or 1,642 meters. As I mentioned a little earlier, the oceans and deep lakes of the world are a perfect hiding place for USOs, UFOs, alien bases, and portals that connect to other dimensions or other parts of the world. What are your thoughts on Lake Baikal? Do you think there's an alien base at the bottom of the lake or a portal connecting the inner earth or other parts of the world? Let me know in the comment section. And now on to the main event, the Mokele-mbebe, a living dinosaur, first sighted in 1776 by French missionaries. It's said to be as large as an elephant with a long, flexible neck and muscular tail, 30 feet in length or 9 meters, with short legs and paws with 3 claws. Their habitat in the Congo River basin in the Likuala region was seasonally inundated swamps and was left blank on most maps. Said to be a sauropod, a surviving species of dinosaur, similar to a brontosaurus, a large territorial herbivore with a preference for deep water. This footage is from a 1992 Japanese expedition to remote Lake Teli deep in the Congo jungle, looking for a dinosaur. And they found one! No sea monster episode would be complete without the Megalodon, also known as the Meg or Big Tooth, 3 times larger than the largest great white shark. Check out this satellite image from the Bahamas. Known as El Demonio Negro in Mexico, it has terrorized fishermen and tourists for generations in the Gulf of California and the nearby Pacific Ocean, plus countless other encounters from around the world. Honorable mentions include the Altamahu 70-foot river monster known as Alti by locals, Porphyrius of Constantinople, and Champ, the Lac Champlain monster. I'll save these stories and a few more for the upcoming live episode about this episode, Sea, Loch, and Lake Monsters, 7 days from today. Please make sure to hit that like button as it's the best way to support this channel. If you want to be informed about upcoming episodes, you can join the Facebook page, The White Rabbit 4090. As always, I'm not saying all these stories are 100% true. I'm just telling a story and you can believe what you want. uncovering the truth, one conspiracy at a time. See you next week on the White Rabbit YouTube channel.